It is Monday, 30 May 2022. This Skidmark is about the state of South Africa's infrastructure. And in general, that would cover our transport infrastructure, our electricity infrastructure. I looked through the news feeds this morning and I see reports of Ramaphosa stating that BEE is an integral part of economic recovery. And I have to shake my head. BEE was the integral part in the destruction of the economy. A destruction that very few people really want to document properly. But thousands of jobs were trashed in that BEE circus. And then he comes out and he talks about a lot of money that has been spent in the Eastern Cape now to empower black women. What I cannot understand is that these people do not realize skin color and gender plays no role in your success as a small businessman. It is intelligence, skills, and commitment that gives you the best opportunity to make a success of a small business. But they hammer on skin color, they hammer on gender, they follow all these crazy socialist plans, and in the meantime, South Africa is dying. Fikile is in charge of transport. If you look at the devastation of our rail infrastructure, you want to cry. Citizens paid taxes that was used to build that infrastructure. They were all fully functional in 1994. This ANC low IQ cadres has managed to destroy everything in our country that is needed to be a success. The current situation in the world with the conflict in Ukraine and the associated severe sanctions on Russia is splitting the world. Russia sits with the resources. China sits with the manufacturing capabilities. We here in South Africa have minerals and resources that the world needs. But we can do nothing with it because our rail system is down the tubes and our harbors are in a desperate state of neglect and mismanagement. So we cannot take the opportunities that are now coming up for the non-West world, for the BRICS environment. We cannot really participate in that because our infrastructure is down the tubes. I don't know what it will take for black people to understand that your skin color does not dictate your potential success as a business leader or what. Where are all the small black businesses was supposed to replace the white SMEs that was destroyed with BEE? Where are they? Where are they? Go and drive through the industrial areas of the different cities and towns. They're not there. Here and there is one or two. The people that are still working under extremely difficult conditions are white people. You see a white contractor, he's got a bakkie and tools, and he does a job and render services and provide jobs. You see a black guy that gets money to start a business. The first thing is a big flashy car, a flashy desk, a hell of a big computer on his desk, a crazy expensive laptop, an expensive watch, clothes out of boutiques, all shine and nothing else. 3 months later, the bank repossesses the car and the landlord throws him out of the premises. And that is how it works. They do not understand this thing of starting a small business, work your backside off and build it over time into a successful business. No, they want to walk into that business and immediately be a high flyer, and they call themselves CEOs and managing directors and the hell knows what. Titles, and that's it. But actual work, business, productivity, that never happens. These tenderpreneurs, they will go and they will get a tender from the government, then they go to 9 out of 10 times a small white business operator. They buy the goods from him at a decent price at which he is willing to sell. They multiply that price sometimes up to 10 times and supply it to the government. And it is our tax money that provides that. I can remember in the days, in the 80s, I had contracts with the government. Getting those tenders was a hell of a process. And if you made 5% profit on the total tender, it was deemed to be a good deal. Government got everything at the best possible price. Today, government gets everything at the highest possible price. Look at the budgets of the municipalities. There is no room in those budgets for infrastructure development and service delivery, because 80 to 90% of the budgets are spent on salaries and perks. This cannot last. I have made a video about my opinion that the days of the Republic is numbered. But the truth and the reality is, this country must break up in 9 to 14 small regions that are autonomous and associated in a loose federal structure, because the communities that are close together can understand the value of working together. And we don't have problems on community level. Our problems lies in politicians fueling the fires of racism, and they do that purely to maintain their positions. We don't need these politicians. We don't need them. We need a few dedicated, skilled managers that manage the different components of our lives. The SA Police is a joke. The Army is a joke. It is time that those things must actually be disbanded, because they are basically non-functional. Let private security take over the role of protecting the communities. It was private security that protected most of the communities in KwaZulu last year. What you see here, but look at that cabinet. I am willing to say that 80% of them don't have an IQ higher than 90. The bulk of them has got an IQ below 80. And in all modern countries, an IQ of below 85 is considered to be a person that is totally incapable of executing any complex task. The American Armed Forces don't employ people with an IQ of lower than 85 because they say that it is impossible to train that person, and that person cannot execute a series of tasks. I don't know where this is going to end. I look at this ANC leadership and you see all of them at some stages appearing somewhere in some form of military garb. What is that? Is that not a subliminal invitation for us to take them on? When is the public going to say this is enough? I am afraid we cannot wait until 2024. By 2024 there will be nothing left of this country. And this is the old story of these cretins that runs their own government systems, basically. When they see they're going to lose power, that is when they strip the country of everything they can lay their hands on. And the ANC is currently now in that process of stripping everything they can lay their hands on. South Africa better wake up, because we're going to wake up one morning with the ANC gone, infrastructure gone, and the power gone, and we will be in the Stone Age.